Good evening, my YouTube viewers. It is Crystal here, and I just wanted to do a code review on a statistical test called the Z-test. But before we go over the code, I just wanted to go over what a Z-test is a little bit. So, according to Investopedia, a Z-test is a statistical test used to determine whether two population means are different when the variances are known and the sample size is large. The test statistic is assumed to have a normal distribution, and nuisance parameters such as standard deviation should be known in order for an accurate Z-test to be performed. Key takeaways are a Z-test is a statistical test to determine whether two population means are different when the variances are known and the sample size is large. A Z-test is a hypothetical test in which the Z statistic follows a normal distribution. A Z-statistic or Z-score is a number representing the result from the Z-test. Z-tests are closely related to t-tests, but t-tests are best performed when an experiment has a small sample size. Z-tests assume the standard deviation is known, while t-tests assume it is unknown. And it gives you a little bit more information about Z-test that we won't go into, but if you're really interested in it, you can read it on your own. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about statsmodels Z-test. So that's statsmodels.stats.weightstats.z-test is a test for the mean based on normal distribution, one or two samples. In the case of two samples, the samples are assumed to be independent. And then it gives you the parameters, it gives you the values, gives you an alternative, a use of error, and a DDOF. And it returns the t-stat, which is a float, which is your test statistic, and a p-value, which is a float, a p-value of the test statistic. And unfortunately, I'm not an expert on stats models. I would like to learn stats models a lot more and become an expert, but I'm not an expert right now. So now that you know a little bit about the Z-test and you know a little bit about stats model Z-test, what we're going to do is we're going to go over the code. So, the formula for a Z-test is right here. A Z-test equals the sample average minus the mean over the standard deviation. And then so what I've done is I'm using stats models. So to perform the Z-test. From stats model stats, weight stats, import Z-test as Z-test. And then we put the data of IQ of people. So I gave an IQ of anywhere from 80 to 150. And then Z-test is your stats model Z-test with your data and a value equals 100. So it gives you your Z-test and your p-statistic, because according to stats models, what it gives you is your test statistic and your p-value of the Z-test. So you can use that to get other information now that you know the test statistic and the p-value. So whenever you use stats models, the Z-test is very easy to acquire because the function is already written in stats models. So that concludes this code review. It was a very simple code review because we're using stats models. And I would like to thank all my subscribers for subscribing to my channel. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share. And I look forward to making more videos about programming for you in the future. Bye.